Hey, this is Mark Bappa with the National Real Estate Network. Today I'm here with Darrick Scruggs. He's one of the most knowledgeable guy I know in the rehab business. Experienced investor, done hundreds of homes, and does this around the clock. So he's my go-to guy in finding out what my costs are going to be in doing a house. Today he's going to just take us through the inside of this property, and the investor's buying this one to fix up and resell, right? So he's going to walk through so you know as an investor what you need to look at and estimating prices and stuff. You know, I'm going to be quiet, and we've got some other investors here today that are going to ask questions along the way. So take it away, Darrick.
How's everybody doing today? Okay, on this one you can see that we've already started our demo. Basically we did extensive demo. We pretty much took out all the ceilings. This particular house had a lot of drop ceilings, so we had to take the drop ceilings out. We took out some beams. If you look at it, in one of my previous videos I talked about everybody want open concept, so we're starting to work on opening the locations that way they have a straight sight path from the entryway all the way back to the kitchen or whatever it is. So we have an open concept, and I think we discussed that as far as an open concept. First thing.
So these studs here, that'll come out?
Yeah, these are all studs, and then we typically put like what we call a header beam in there. So it'll be a beam to basically carry the support from one edge. If you look at it, it's dipping a little bit. So what we do is we have to put like what we call a dead wall in, jack it up a little bit, and then we put a beam 2x8, 2x10, 2x12. That's all depending on the size. So this wall will come out, and that wall will come out, and then we just run beams to keep it stable. So that way what happens is the sight line will be out. All these little 2x4s will be removed or whatever it is. You know, I always tell people what you want to do is everything is about sight. Windows make a big difference. It's always good to have clean windows depending on the situation. So that's why when you actually going out to do your estimate or whatever it is, you want to basically look at the condition windows. Are they older wooden windows? Are they older vinyl sided windows? Just because they're vinyl sided don't mean that they're good windows. Do they have screens in them? These are all situations you want to basically figure out. So on this one, it's 10 windows. We're going in, we're changing all the windows out. And basically throughout the whole process of whatever, be all new windows, kitchen, bathroom, living room, dining room, these are all new windows or whatever. So what happens is now it starts to give it an open look. It gives it a fresh feel. The windows, good thing about it, you know they're gonna open and close, they're gonna seal properly, whatever it is. And it's two parts of the window process. You have the installation, then now we have to go in and put the trim around them. So this is just the entry part, but what we have to do is fix the drywall. So once we put it in, we insulate, and then we fix the drywall. Like I said, when we did our initial demo, we had already figured out that what we was gonna do is open this wall up with two walls. The kitchen, that was all set up with 2x4s or whatever it is. It's an oddly laid out kind of house or whatever, because the fact is some of these 2x4s are not really load bearing, but some of them are load bearing. So what we're gonna do is just make sure that we put load bearing wall, we put 2x10s across to make sure that they are well supported. This is the living room to the dining room, and then from dining room to the kitchen or whatever. And this one's kind of unique because the floor is kind of buckled, so we had to cut the floor out to be able to give it a better overall slope into the kitchen or whatever it is, because the fact that it was kind of buckled. So now it's going to be an even point from the dining room to the living room to the kitchen, and that way when we put our tile or vinyl plank down, it'll be a level floor and you won't have that unevenness. Now we talked about the open concept. This one is kind of unique. The fact is this is a ranch, but it's also a ranch on a crawl space. So the fact is we don't have another storage place to put all our HVAC and our hot water tank or whatever it is. So when we open this particular wall up, basically we're gonna have this set up as an island. This would be just be an additional open space. We're gonna frame this back wall up, so this would be cabinets over here. We're gonna upgrade the electrical panel, and then over here where the furnace is, we're gonna actually make it a mechanical room. So we have stackable washer and dryer over here, and we're gonna frame that up to about a 5x4 wall, so that way people can basically have a hidden scenario when they're ready to go in there and use their washer and dryer, whatever it is. But all of this would be left open for the kitchen, living room, dining room, whatever it is. It leads into this little bathroom right here. Particular house is a 2-bedroom, so basically what we do is try to maximize space. In this, they had oversized closets, whatever. So what we did is we demoed the old closet, and what we're actually going to do is we're going to basically build 3x3 closets, whatever it is. This is one that's demoed, and then we go to the one next where we actually built the 3x3 closet or whatever it is. So this is basically your 3x3 closet, whatever it is. If you look up, you got a nice access place for, like I said, if you need to get over for electrical or whatever it is, so you can go right through the closet. But the fact is, it didn't take up any additional space or whatever it is. So 3x3 closet, we're gonna have a 28-inch door right here, and then this is gonna be a 32-inch door right here when you walk out the door. These are all things you want to account when you're basically coming in. And then what I was explaining to a lot of these other newer investors is actually just create you a weekly accountability checklist for you and your investors or whatever it is, or your contractors. And it helps you stay on track because you know what your expectations is and they know what your expectations is. So it could be 7 items you want to get accomplished this week. So once you get those 7 items accomplished or whatever it is, by Wednesday, Thursday, you should see some kind of progress.
Darrick, I'm working with a ton of wholesalers. So as a wholesaler, you're looking to go into the house and you have to estimate down and dirty pretty quick, but as accurate as you can what the repair costs are going to be. Then you have to take what the retail price is. So you got to know what the value of the house is. You got to deduct what the rehab's going to be. And then you need to be able to buy that house low enough that there's a margin there for your wholesale fee and for the investor who's going to do the find, fix, and flip. So now for me to come in here as an investor and get the pricing as quick as I can, what's your advice to me as somebody that wants to do wholesale?
Well, the thing is this: if you look at new construction is built on square footage. So let's say, for example, I'm building a new construction house. It might be $130 to $150 a square foot. So basically, you can use that same model when you're actually doing a renovation house for a rehab. So let's say this house is 900 square feet. I use a $20, $30, $40, or $50 a square foot rehab. So what I mean by that is, if I take 900 square feet and times about $20, that'd be $18,000. Now, $18,000 is what we call a light rehab. That might be just a kitchen. It might be upgrading the bathroom, painting the exterior, doing the floors work. That's what we consider light rehab. A medium rehab is I might have to basically gut the bathroom. I may have to do some windows or whatever. That might be a $30 square foot. So I take 900 square feet times 30. That's $27,000. I do the same thing for extensive rehab. So in fact, I may have to replace the roof. I could have foundation issues. And this one, we have to take the floor out. So it's going to be a little bit higher. So I could take 90 times $40 square foot, which is $36,000. That's going to give me a ballpark. It could be a little higher, it could be a little lower. But what happens is it gives you a baseline. So then when you go out, it's going to tell you two things. It'll either tell you whether it's worth to go out there or not, because while you're doing your due diligence or reconnaissance, you can actually ask the homeowner or seller in these questions. You should have 10 or 12 questions you have. Hey, do you have a newer roof? Do you have newer windows? Hey, has the kitchen been updated? How does the floors? Is it hardwood floors? Is the carpet? Okay, under the carpet is this. These are all questions you can write down, and based on that, you can actually put prices on each one of them to come up, but it still should fall into your $20, $30, or $40 a square foot rehab budget. Now, it could be higher if it needs more stuff, and it could be lower. It could be situations where the fact is, it could just be a pig in a blanket. You just need to put a little lipstick on it and make it look better. So those are the ones that find. Those could be a $10 a square foot, but those are those are unlikely to find something when they're selling. They're selling for a reason, and typically they either want to basically get rid of it because the fact is they either went over budget and they want to sell it, or the fact that they just had it for a while and now they're just trying to liquidate it for a profit. So
on this house, as a wholesaler, you already know your costs. So what would I do? Pick the $30 range?
Yeah, this would be a $30 range. So basically, my overall rehab budget may be $30,000, $31,000 with everything. So basically, that will base it at 900 square feet times $30, $27,000. I got a little extra because I got to cut the floors out and level it. That's about $2,000 to $3,000 expense. So if I do it $30 per square foot, I got everything set up. So now what I would do is, for a quick scenario to be able to figure out if it's worth your while, go to Zillow, Truly, or whatever it is. It's going to give you a Zillow Zestimate, and then it's going to, you know what you're buying it for. And if you use $30 square foot, so let's say, for example, you make an offer of $100,000 and Zillow says it's worth $200,000, and you got a $30 square foot, $900 times $30, that's $30,000. So you got 100 plus 30, you got $70,000. It's worth your while. See, that's the thing you want to do. You want to do quick mathematics to see if it's even worth it. So let's do vice versa. So let's say the house is worth $125,000, $130,000. The guy wants to sell it for $100,000, but you got $30,000 in rehab. It's not even worth your time, or you have to negotiate that price.
Now, how do you factor in as far as material? Looking in, I would typically, as a person,
material is about 40% of your job.
Correct.
So if you got $27,000, about $14,000, $13,000 would be more in materials or whatever it is. Another $15,000 will be labor.
So as an investor, should I go to Home Depot and buy everything?
Well, this is what Home Depot just makes everything really, really convenient. You pay more, but you get it a lot easier. So if you go to Sherwin-Williams, your paint may be cheaper, or if you go to your local supply house, electrical, plumbing, or roofing, it's going to be cheaper for you to buy that particular product. Certain things are a lot, like you can't get cabinets and stuff or in volume or whatever it is. So when your contractor go, he's typically gonna go to the Home Depot because it's basically going to be a lot easier for him to get everything in one location as opposed to going to Wyoming Plumbing, Murray's Lighting, or whatever. I do it because the fact is every penny I save is just it's a profit for me or whatever. But for you, it's easier sometimes for you to just have one account. You go to the pro desk and pay for everything there.
So on this house, on your lumber, 2x4s and stuff.
On lumber, we bought all the lumber at Home Depot.
So that's your best choice.
Best choice, fella.
And then on the windows, where would I go?
Home Depot.
Okay.
And I think I was explaining to them, you got multiple different types of windows. You got single hung and you got double hung. Single hung are more for your rental. That's why you want to know what kind of rehab you're doing. Is going to be for investment or is going to be for a flip. If it's going to be for a flip,
could you show that just for a second? Like what you mean?
Your windows, you typically have, this is what they call a single hung. A single hung window, it only opens up one window. A double hung window, it opens from the top and the bottom. And then your low E and then the argon value is a lot higher. So it's a better insulated window, so it costs a little more. But for a rental property, if you insulate it properly and do everything, it's not going to be that big a deal. But for a resale value, to get max value, you basically want a double hung window or whatever. It has more resale value.
So then for the furnace for this house, where would you go for that?
First, I would basically go to my local HVAC place or whatever it is. Like we use Johnstone. That's one of the largest mechanical shops in Michigan or whatever it is. So they got like 10 or 12 locations. So basically for anything I do for my mechanical situations, I will go there.
Can any end user person walk in, or do you have to have a license?
Well, typically they need license. They need to be a licensed contractor or whatever to use it. But what happens is typically when you're working with your contractor, they'll let you go with them or whatever it is. You can't buy it, but the fact is they can go with them and then you can purchase it.
Okay.
Yeah. After a while, you got relationships.
You got relationships.
So, and then, so now my light fixtures, am I going to get those?
I'm typically going to get all my light fixtures and everything either for Amazon. And the reason why Amazon has different styles or whatever is actually going to be a lot cheaper. Home Depot, Lowe, they typically have 2 or 3 different types of lights if you're going through whatever it is. But if I go to like Amazon or if I go through my traditional wholesale shops or whatever it is, I'm going to get a better variety and it's going to be a lot cheaper or whatever. Like in this particular house, we're putting recessed lights in. So in this, it's cheaper for me to go to Murray's Lighting and get all my lights as opposed to going to Home Depot. It's probably a 20–25% difference in the price. This is another little known fact. Home Depot and Lowe's are right next to each other. Lowe's is about 25% more in price. So what I typically do is if Lowe's has sales, I go to Lowe's, but typically I buy most of my stuff from Home Depot. Home Depot, you're gonna get a better price on most of your items or whatever it is.
Wiring in the box and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would you go to a supply house?
I would go typically to Murray's Lighting. So basically I would get my box, my meter can. I would get all my electrical, whatever 14-2, 12-2 wiring, plugs, switches, what. It's going to be a lot cheaper. GFIs. I'm getting all my recess cans. I would get all that from my electrical supply house. So like in Michigan or in Detroit, I typically use Murray's Lighting. They're very, very economical, located on 8 Mile. That's how I typically use for most of all my electrical stuff. If I'm using plumbing, I typically use Wyoming Plumbing. Your cost for your PVC, PEX, whatever it is, shut-off valve, you're probably about 40% cheaper going to Wyoming Plumbing as opposed to going to, let's say, Home Depot. Now, it's an added factor by going to the electrical supply house and also going to the plumbing supply. Everybody's going to be looking for contractors. It's an excellent way to find them. Go there about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning because most of your supply houses open about 7:30 in the morning. When you go there, it's going to be trucks and vans sitting outside, take pictures, ask the people behind the counter, hey, I need an affordable electrician. I need an affordable contractor. That's one of your best places, and they specialize in that particular trade. It's plumbing. There, if you go to Johnstone's, it's going to be 10 or 12 heating and cooling guys there. If it's Murray's Lighting, it's going to be 15 or 20 electricians. Most of the guys behind the desk, they're seasoned, skilled electricians, or they know that product pretty well, and they can refer you to somebody like that. So it's a good way for you to build a reputable contractor through that particular situation. So a lot of people always ask that situation. Another way to build your contractors is to actually go to Home Depot or their pro desk, because the pro department only deal with contractors.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. I used to rehab 8 houses a month, and just exactly what he said is what I did. But I learned it all the hard way. So listen to what he's saying.
And the thing is, just go to different ones. Just go in your little area. You can Google Sherman-Williams. It's going to be a list of painters, cards, or whatever on the desk. Call them and find out. Angie's List got a good rating review. You can look on there, see if it's anybody worthwhile or whatever it is. So it's not that difficult to find. You may have to go through 2 or 3 different contractors or whatever to find a good one. But just basically go through, do your due diligence, ask that. One of the biggest things I always ask is, are you working on any projects now? Can I see what you're doing? That's another great program where you can figure out. Because if you're working now today, I haven't seen too many good contractors not busy. I get called every day for contracts I can't get to. So I know it's never a shortage of opportunities. So if you don't have a job, it's a reason why.
Opportunity where, okay, there you closed, everything's fine now, and you're ready to start getting ready to rehab.
Yeah.
You get in the property, and then you start making, and then you start actually putting pen to paper and start mapping out the plan. In a perfect world, which we don't live in, but how long will it take for us to actually rehab the property, get it up and operational and available for sale?
And this is what I tell people. Your $20, $30, and $40 square foot gonna give you that timeline or whatever it is. A $20 square foot is what we consider light rehab. So give yourself 30 days on a $20 square foot. A $30 square foot, maybe 45 days or 60 days. Now, what takes a lot longer, the fact is, depending on what you got to do. Let's say, for example, if you got 100 sheets of drywall, it's going to take you a little longer. It could be job where the value could be the same. It's just the fact that it's depending on the quality or the quantity of work. If you don't have to put drywall, you don't have to put new flooring in or whatever, your cost could be similar because the fact is you could hire different higher tickets. You may have one job where the fact is the roof could be very expensive and put new windows in because you got 30 windows in the house and your roof could be $12,000, so it could draw your price up a little higher. So your timeline dictates on each particular item that you need to do. You know, and you can basically discuss that ahead of time. So what I would do is this. Let's say, for example, your painter. How long would it take you to paint up 1,800 square foot? That's 2 coats. That's with three tone. That's with ceilings flat, walls eggshell or satin, and then your trim is going to be semi-gloss. These are all situations you figure out. So that's 5 days. So you can basically start to put the days together. And it's your job to, as the owner or whatever, is to act as a project manager to some degree to be able to figure out, okay, based on this situation, it should take 30 to 45 days. Give yourself a 10 to 12 day window because of weather, because of missed opportunities, contractors not showing up. These are all situations, so don't be overly set on the dates or whatever it is. What you want to do is look at progress, right? So you want to look at from Monday to Sunday what got done.
Good.
Okay. I forgot to tell everybody about is the fact that Darrick does consulting all over the country. So investors, doesn't matter what state you're in, he can help you plan and do this on a facility just by merely giving him all the pictures. And I know sometimes he flies in and gives them, but now you've got a whole plan laid out on how you're going to do it and what your costs are and that. So you're receptive to anybody that's watching this, the key to this business is putting together a good system. And rehab is all about systems. And don't get me wrong, I'll have issues just like everybody else, but most of the time, just the putting a plan together, whatever it is, you having some expectations, it helps you to be able to know and lead your contractors. People want to be led, so your contractors want to be led or whatever it is. So once you give them the plan for that week or whatever it is, you can hold them accountable. So on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you call them and say, hey, did this get done? Ah, didn't get done. Well, that's the first thing they're going to do next thing. You know, I'm really big on text, so I text them, letting them know, hey, this is the next situation that needs to happen. This is what happens after this. Okay, can you get this? If not, let me know. So
Yeah, text, yeah.
And then the phone number they want to text
is 248-910-5154.
That's great. Now I'm the investor walking up and this place needs a roof, it needs windows, it needs everything. And then I'm brand new, so like I got a great deal on it. I figured out probably $40 a square foot, and I've got all my numbers are there and it's right. So now I go to rehab it. So what's the typical order that I would fix it? What's the order of the repairs?
First thing you want to do is you want to demo everything out, because what happens is there's always some hidden gems behind the walls that you won't know about. So we demo first. So we clean everything out. The next, we would probably do our roofing, do our electrical, plumbing. If we need to, and it's duct work or whatever, we're going to do our HVAC or whatever it is. Then we're going to windows. So that's going to be your 4 or 5 major situations you have. So typically your roof is going to be one of your first priority, because the fact is typically you put in a roof because it's either leaking or it has some conditional damage. So once you finish your roof, you would go to your gutters, your gutters, downspouts or whatever. After you do that, then you put whatever siding or whatever it is, because you won't put the siding on before you put your windows in, if you do siding or whatever it is. So that's the plan will be basically roofing. Then it would be, you'd be demo first, because in fact, once you go inside, you can basically see what needs to be done. Then after that, you could typically have your roof and your siding, your roofing and your demo done simultaneously, because in fact, it should be two different contractors, whatever it is. That's why I say don't put everything in one, don't leave everything into one contractor situation, because the demo can be done simultaneously to the roofing or whatever it is. So when you come in, now you can go ahead and put together a plan of attack to be able to say, okay, these are issues that I didn't know about, and you can inform your investor, or you would know at that time, okay, this is another particular situation like that. So after you do that, you got all your mechanical, electrical, plumbing, heating. This is what we call a beginner project. Well, when we first get started, all we did was demo. We're starting to do our initial framing. We're gonna do our electrical. The next house we go to is gonna be one that's basically about 90% done. We're in the completion phases. This is a 90% right here. So what I mean by 90% is pretty much just about done. We're actually coming in doing all our touch-ups, getting everything set up for our final walkthrough to figure out what we want to do. As we talked about, as far as everything is new, this new vinyl plank flooring. We got new base case molding throughout, all new windows, everything that can be updated has been done or whatever it is. This is what we consider open concept. So in fact, on here we have stacked stone with the pebbled base, whatever it is. So this is the focal point when they first come in. Because what you want to do is basically create some kind of wow factor. You can't do too much about the layout, but based on this is the maximum I figured out that we can make it. When people first walk in, figure out. We talked about the recessed lights. So we got 5 recessed lights in the what we call living room / dining room. Then we got 6 recessed lights in the kitchen or whatever it is. So that it works all the way out. And then now we got this whole kitchen. So we start right here. We got the whole base kitchen. So it gives them room to be able to figure out. So you got the refrigerator right here, comes all around, microwave, stove, dishwasher. Then that's gonna be like a little small little pantry area in the corner. We built this little half bathroom right here. So we wanted to be space conscious or whatever it is. So we put like a little floating vanity in there. A little mirror. We put a small round toilet in there. So all these basically try to maximize the space or whatever it is, for it won't look too congested or whatever it is. So right here we got the backsplash, granite counter, actually Korean countertops or whatever it is, dishwasher, we got a stove right there. Come on around, everything will be finished up. So we got basically do our final cleanups. I'm actually over here today to do my cleanup today. This is the second floor house that I showed earlier. Basically, this is the almost the finished look. Like I said, we got all new base, case molding, new fixtures, little stuff that you don't think about. Recessed lights throughout. We come in and do our own final touches up on Monday, Tuesday to get it to hopefully finish everything up. As you see, once you put the carpet in, you're getting close to the closing. Like I said, we're gonna go to bedroom number 2. This is what we consider our master bedroom. Here, this is bedroom number 2. Basically, we got an oversized window. So we actually framed this window in. So this didn't have a second floor window, only had one window in each bedroom. So we put a larger 36 by 62 window in here to give it more of a open look or whatever it is. Everything in here is brand new, all new base case or whatever it is. We built this closet right here. And here's the bathroom. You know, this is what we consider a 3-piece bathroom. We got tile all the way around. We had to use an angle to basically put the shower in there because frankly of the slope of the wall or whatever it was. It's a 3-piece. We just got to come in, do our wipe down, clean up everything, seal, and this one will be basically ready to put on the market. How you doing? Okay, this is basically just closing out, just a wrap up or whatever it is. This is 90% just about done, whatever it is. So I just wanted to basically wrap up. And this business is all about systems. It's about contracts. It's about basically putting together the right price structure, whatever it is, because the price structure is going to help you to either make money or lose money or whatever it is, and proper accountability. So on this situation, what I can help you do is put together the right systems, because systems, they save you time, energy, and money. So with my experience and my level of expertise, I can help you, whether you're in California, New York, or whatever it is. I can help you try to look for the right contractors. I can help you put together the right systems if you are interested in whatever it is. So I don't need to be there. I can create a scope of work for you. I can help you create timelines. I can help you create weekly agendas or whatever. And what happens, it helps you to lead your contractor down the path to get you to the finish line. Because a lot of times contractors want to be led. They need to have certain situations to be able to help you to be most effective.